The Three Stories of Princess. Title: The Princess and the Golden Rose. Once upon a time, in the picturesque kingdom of Florin, there lived a gentle and kind-hearted princess named Elena. Known for her beauty and wisdom, Princess Elena was adored by her people. The kingdom of Florin was famous for its stunning gardens, filled with every type of flower imaginable. Yet, there was one flower that had never been seen in Florin, the legendary golden rose. According to an ancient legend, the golden rose possessed magical powers that could bring eternal prosperity and happiness to the kingdom that found it. However, it was hidden deep within the enchanted forest, a place filled with both wonders and dangers. Many had tried to find the golden rose, but none had returned. One day, as Elena walked through the royal gardens, she overheard a group of villagers discussing the kingdom's recent hardships. Crops were failing, and the once bountiful rivers were drying up. Seeing the worry on their faces, Elena resolved to find the golden rose and save her kingdom. Armed with her courage and determination, Princess Elena set off on her journey, accompanied by her loyal companion, a brave and clever fox named Finn. Together, they ventured into the depths of the enchanted forest. The forest was a maze of towering trees and hidden paths, but Finn's keen senses guided them through. As they journeyed deeper into the forest, they encountered various magical creatures. First, they met a wise old owl named Orin, who told them that the path to the golden rose required 3 trials: the trial of the heart, the trial of the mind, and the trial of the spirit. Orin gifted Elena a small, shimmering feather, assuring her it would help in times of need. For the trial of the heart, Elena and Finn arrived at a clearing where they found a young deer trapped in a hunter's snare. Without hesitation, Elena freed the deer, showing her compassion and kindness. The deer, in gratitude, revealed a hidden path leading to the next trial. The trial of the mind took place in a grove filled with ancient trees. Each tree had a riddle carved into its bark. Elena had to solve the riddles to find the right path. With Finn's help and her own intellect, she solved each riddle and moved forward. Finally, they reached the trial of the spirit. At a serene lake, Elena faced her deepest fears reflected in the water. She saw visions of her kingdom in ruin and her loved ones in peril. Summoning her inner strength, she bravely confronted these fears, and the lake's waters began to glow, revealing a path to a hidden grove. In the heart of the grove stood the golden rose, shimmering with a radiant light. Elena gently picked the rose, feeling its magic flow through her. With the golden rose in hand, she and Finn made their way back to Florin. Upon her return, Elena planted the golden rose in the center of the royal gardens. Its magic spread throughout the kingdom, bringing life back to the fields, filling the rivers, and restoring prosperity. The people of Florin rejoiced, and Princess Elena's bravery and selflessness became a cherished legend. Princess Elena continued to rule with wisdom and compassion, always remembering that true strength comes from the heart, the mind, and the spirit. The golden rose bloomed eternally, a symbol of hope and the enduring power of love and courage. And so, Princess Elena and the kingdom of Florin lived happily ever after, their future forever brightened by the magic of the golden rose. Title: The 100th Princess. In a faraway kingdom, there lived a wise and beloved king who had 99 daughters. Each princess was more beautiful and talented than the last, and the kingdom was filled with joy and harmony. However, the king yearned for a son to inherit his throne. His queen, wise and loving, reassured him that their daughters were a great blessing. Yet, the king could not shake his desire for an heir. One day, the king sought the counsel of a powerful sorcerer living deep in the mountains. The sorcerer foretold that if the king and queen had a 100th child, that child would bring significant change to the kingdom. Soon after, the queen gave birth to their 100th daughter. Unlike her sisters, this princess was born with a mysterious mark on her forehead, a shimmering crescent moon. The king was disappointed, as he had hoped for a son, but the queen believed this daughter was special, just as the prophecy had suggested. As the 100th princess grew, it became clear that she was different from her sisters. She had a unique connection with nature, able to communicate with animals and make flowers bloom wherever she went. Her presence brought an unexplainable peace to all around her, yet she often felt out of place among her dazzling sisters. One day, a powerful neighboring kingdom declared war on the king's land. The enemy forces were strong, and the king's armies struggled to defend the realm. In desperation, the king called upon each of his daughters, hoping their talents could help save the kingdom. Despite their efforts, none could stop the advancing invaders. The 100th princess, who had been quietly observing the growing conflict, approached her father. "Father," she said, "allow me to try and bring peace to our kingdom." Though skeptical, the king, having exhausted all other options, allowed her to go. The princess journeyed to the battlefield, where she met the opposing army's fierce commander. Instead of confronting him with weapons, she spoke with a voice as gentle as a breeze. She shared with him the sorrow that war brings and the benefits of peace for both sides. As she spoke, the commander's heart softened, and he was reminded of the love and peace he had once cherished but had long forgotten. Moved by her words, the commander ordered his soldiers to lay down their arms, and the war ended without further bloodshed. The kingdom rejoiced, celebrating the princess who had achieved what no army could. The king, once disappointed in not having a son, now understood the true value of his 100th daughter. The princess became known as the Moonlit Queen for the mark she bore and the light she brought to the kingdom. Her reign ushered in an era of peace and prosperity, where wisdom, compassion, and understanding were valued above all else. The story of the 100th princess became a cherished legend, a testament to the idea that true strength lies in the heart's ability to bring light, even in the darkest of times. Title: The Princess Chocolate. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far away, there lived a beautiful princess named Isabella, who was affectionately known as Princess Chocolate. She earned this name because of her deep love for chocolate, which was as legendary as her kindness and beauty. In the kingdom of Sweetonia, chocolate was not just a treat but a way of life, and Isabella's passion for it brought joy to all the people. The kingdom was surrounded by fields of cocoa trees, and the air was always filled with the sweet aroma of chocolate. The people of Sweetonia were expert chocolatiers, and their creations were known far and wide. Princess Chocolate would often visit the chocolatiers, learning their craft and creating her own delightful confections, which she would share with everyone in the kingdom. One day, as Isabella was experimenting with a new recipe, a mysterious traveler arrived at the castle. He was a tall, enigmatic man with silver hair and eyes that sparkled like the stars. He introduced himself as Count Dark, a traveler from a distant land. He had heard of Sweetonia's fame and had come to taste its legendary chocolate. Isabella welcomed him warmly and offered him her latest creation, a rich, velvety chocolate infused with the rarest spices. Count Dark tasted it, and for a moment, a shadow passed over his face. He smiled, but there was something cold in his eyes that made Isabella uneasy. That night, a terrible storm hit the kingdom, and by morning, the fields of cocoa trees had withered, and the rivers of chocolate had turned bitter. The once vibrant Sweetonia was plunged into darkness, and the people were devastated. The chocolatiers tried everything to restore their beloved chocolate, but nothing worked. Isabella was heartbroken, but she refused to give up. She remembered the strange reaction of Count Dark and suspected that he had something to do with the calamity. Determined to save her kingdom, she set out on a journey to find him. After days of searching, she found Count Dark in a cave deep in the mountains. He revealed that he had cast a spell on the kingdom because he was envious of its happiness and wanted to bring darkness to Sweetonia. But as he saw Isabella's determination, something in his heart began to change. Isabella, sensing his inner conflict, offered him a piece of the chocolate she had made from the last remnants of the cocoa beans. She spoke of the joy and love that chocolate brought to her people and how it symbolized the sweetness of life. Count Dark hesitated but eventually took a bite. As he did, the bitterness in his heart melted away, and he realized the error of his ways. He lifted the curse, and the kingdom was restored to its former glory. In gratitude, Count Dark gifted Princess Chocolate a rare cocoa bean that would never wither, ensuring that Sweetonia's chocolate would forever remain the best in the world. Princess Isabella returned to her people, and Sweetonia once again thrived, with its rivers of chocolate flowing sweeter than ever. And so, Princess Chocolate and her kingdom lived happily ever after, sharing their love of chocolate with the world.